Hey everyone, it's Neil Patel and welcome to E-commerce Unlocked. Today, we're going to be breaking down content promotion. Just in the last lesson, I ended up breaking down how to create content, and now that you've created content, it's time to promote it so that way you can get some traffic and of course, generate those sales. Before we get started, I want to talk about this one thing. If you think about Facebook, massive company, billions of users, they're worth billions of dollars. Mark Zuckerberg is worth billions of dollars, but yet they still have a growth team. No matter how big you are, you can always continually grow. So at this point, you should have some content pieces because we already went over that, whether it's blog posts, product pages, category pages, and now it's time to promote them so you can get traffic. Even if you have the best content in the world, if you don't promote it, it won't be seen. Trust me, there's over 1 billion blogs on the internet. There's roughly 7 billion people in the world. That's roughly one blog for every 7 people. Just imagine how much content is being produced on a regular basis. More than we really need. That's why if you just create content, it won't get seen. You have to promote it. And I want to start off with sidebar links. I do this on the Neil Patel website. A lot of other blogs have started doing it as well, like NerdWallet. Whenever you have amazing content, link to them in your sidebar, include rich anchor text when it makes sense and it's relevant. And what you'll find is within 6 months or a year, those pages really dominate Google. And yes, that may seem like a long time, but it really isn't when it comes to the grand scheme of things. I also want you to be leveraging social media platforms. From Facebook to Twitter to Instagram. Instagram right now is really hot for e-commerce. And there's many different types of posts that you can use on these social sites. Like for example, on Facebook, there's photos, videos. You can just link to stuff like an article. You can just have text, whether that text is like quotes with a graphic or just a status update, or you can even reshare other people's content. The types of content are endless, and more different types are popping up each and every single year as technology continually evolves. And with e-commerce, you're like, hey, do I really need to be posting on social? Yes. Look at American Eagle here. On Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere they're posting. Why? Because it allows other people to relate to them, understand them, and of course, it helps build that loyal brand following, which increases sales over time. Same goes with sites like A&E. You can interact with them, you can watch at home, and you can feel that you're part of the A&E community. This all, again, helps with sales and loyalty. With Skincare by Elena, one of my favorite e-commerce sites, she does everything when it comes to these social platforms, including going live. Going live is an easy way to get a captive audience, and then when you're on that live video, you can sell them on your products, on your services. It's a really easy way to generate sales. Even me, even though my main site isn't e-commerce and I'm not selling products, technically I'm selling services, which is a form of commerce. I try to post content every single day. I do this on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, literally wherever I can to help drive more sales. The more I post, the more relationships I build. And if you build relationships with other influencers, you'll also find them willing to post your products on their profiles as well, which helps drive sales. And here's an interesting example for you. And this one's from Grace and Lace, and they were on Shark Tank, which is a TV show that breaks down companies and people trying to raise money. In the first year, they did around 800K in sales. Second year, 1.6. And they were advertising through Instagram and Pinterest at the time. They were taking influencers, getting them to post. 3 years later, fast forward, they started doing $20 million a year. Think about that. 800K in the first year, 1.6 million in the second, and then 3 years later, $20 million, and they're still growing. It's one of the most profitable investments that has been on Shark Tank. See, when you're going after influencers, you may want to try to get that influencer that has the biggest account, and that's what everyone wants to do. But that person's usually the most expensive, and they usually don't provide the best ROI. I like going after those micro influencers that are well known for one thing specific, and that thing should be related to your product that you're selling. And if you get 10 of those smaller ones, I found that it makes up more than one of those big influencers, and it usually is much cheaper as well. Another type of content that I love using is carousel images. So if you go on my Instagram profile, what you'll find is I'll tell a story and people just keep clicking next. This also does really well for me on LinkedIn. It's an amazing piece of content that gets a ton of shares and gets loved. Also, with your e-commerce site, make sure you're using push notifications, and you can use tools like subscribers for that. I get roughly 6% clicks. You can create a drip sequence to keep getting people to come back and buying more and more from you, as well as pushing them to your content as well. Of course, you're not going to rank well on Google if you're not building links to your content. So you need to acquire links and use proven tactics to do it. It's one of the core factors in Google's algorithm. So go to Ubersuggest and put in your competitor's URL. When you go to Ubersuggest and you put in your competitor's URL on the left-hand navigation, I want you to click on backlinks. This will take you to a report that shows all the people linking to your competition. It'll give you an idea of what sites are good and what sites are bad. You want to go and get links from the URLs that are high in domain score. The higher the domain score, the more authority that page has. And you ideally want to get after links that are followed. A no follow link, and on the screen you'll see like NF, that stands for no follow. A follow link means that it passes juice. It helps with your Google rankings. A no follow link is telling Google, hey, I linked to this site, but this link shouldn't help with their rankings. You can also use the top pages report. You already put in your competitor's URL, so just click on top pages in the left-hand navigation and it'll show you their top pages based on visits, backlinks, and social shares. And look to see which ones are doing well. This will give you ideas of what you need to do. You can also take that specific URL and put that into the Ubersuggest backlink report. And this will show you every single person linking to it as well. And of course, as I mentioned, you don't want no follow links, you want the follow links. So make sure you've already selected follow in the filtering settings. That way you see a list of links that are valuable. The no follow ones aren't worth your time. What I like doing with e-commerce is I go out there, I reach out to bloggers, I build relationships with them, and I ask them for a link. And the way I typically do this is when I'm putting in my competitors' links to see who links out to them, I'll email that site owner like, hey John, I noticed that you linked to X, Y, and Z article from this website and it covers A, B, and C, but what they're lacking is covering 1, 2, and 3. And I'll break down those points of 1, 2, and 3 of what that article is missing. And then I tell them, my article covers all of that. Feel free and check it out here. And if you like it, feel free and link to it. And a lot of people will link to it. Majority won't, but a lot of people will. You just have to end up sending out literally hundreds of emails. I don't want to scare you, but that's the reality of it. So I also don't want to lie. It's not easy, but it's definitely doable. Technically, it's not hard either. It's just more so tedious and time consuming. When you also write content as you're collecting emails, and you can collect emails through HelloBar, make sure you create attention-grabbing subject lines, hook your readers with a good intro CTA, and then of course add some links so they can go back to your website. This little simple thing will get more traffic to you every time you release a blog post. Of course, there's also chatbots and messengers lists. Most people are saying, Facebook Messenger, no one cares for it. Well, they have 1.3 billion, that's billion with a B, active monthly users. So you better get on that chatbot train, whether it's through ManyChat or you decide to use ones that are more so on your website like Intercom or Drift. Chatbots are really a good tool to drive more traffic and sales to your products. So overall, I covered a lot of different ways that you can promote your content, such as the sidebar links and social media platforms, so link building to push notifications, and the list goes on and on. Leverage as many of them as you can. You may not leverage all of them because you may lack some time, and that's okay. Pick the ones that you think are going to be the easiest and then go from there, but eventually you do want to go after all of them. Also, when it comes to SEO, I have a detailed course on this. It's free as well, like this one. Go to neilpatel.com/training, click on SEO Unlocked, and you can end up checking out my SEO course and going through everything step by step. I also want you to download the promotional calendar. You can find this at neilpatel.com/training. Click on e-commerce unlocked, go to week 2 and the third video, lesson 3, and download the file. You'll see it there if you're already not there. Next week, I'm going to be covering how to market on Amazon, sales channels like Walmart, eBay, Etsy, and how to leverage them, what it takes to win on each channel, and of course, I'm going to break down B2B versus B2C when it comes to commerce online. So thank you for watching. I hope this lesson's helped you to get more traffic to your content. I look forward to continually helping you thrive in the e-commerce world.